What's up, good people? It's your man Jay Free, the Enlightened Perspective, United Intellectual. As usual, just trying to keep you up to date with information as it's going on, in attempts to, just spark us so that we'll pay attention and wake up. Um, this current update just came to my attention, and I thought it was interesting. I'm gonna share the clip, and we'll look at the ad. But I just thought it was interesting because, in light of the atmosphere of everything that's going on around us, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that are happening in the country concerning racism. And on the broad spectrum, you have a lot of people that are even trying to say it doesn't exist. Barack Obama was in the White House. Black people need to get over it and stop crying, blah, blah, blah. And so we got a lot of issues concerning racism when those that are, receiving the treatment, we, of course, see it more clearly than others. But in attempts that we all might heal, in attempts and efforts to, to grow, and in attempts and efforts to try to overcome, what we are dealing with, we all have to come to realizations of what's going on, and that's both sides, black and white, so that we can, begin the dialogue of healing. And so I thought this ad was very interesting because Procter and Gamble, major distributor, made an ad. And in the ad, I feel like they made a very broad statement concerning racism. So I'm going to play the ad for you and let you be the judge, and we'll chop it up.
Who said that?
The lady at the store.
That is not a compliment.
Listen, nasty word, and you are going to hear it. Nothing I can do about that. But you are not going to let that word hurt you.
You got your ID? Because it's stop it.
Good. When you get pulled over,
I'm a good driver.
baby, don't worry. Getting a ticket, this is about you not coming home.
I'm gonna be okay. Right? Okay.
For a black girl, you are beautiful, period. Okay? Don't ever.
Man, so if I can get my mouse back over here. I thought that ad was very interesting. I'm not sure exactly what everyone else's opinion is of that particular ad, but I thought that it was phenomenal in regards to what some of us have to face on a daily basis, the things we have to think about just going outside of our door, the situations that we face, you know what I'm saying, on a regular basis due to nothing that we ourselves done, but just based on people's perspective and opinion because of an ideology that's pushed out there. And so I thought that this was a phenomenal statement for Procter and Gamble to make, because it was almost as if they were saying they stood in solidarity with us, but more importantly, just that a major company would make such a profound statement. Because notice in the part where the mother was talking to the little girl and she said, "You're not pretty for a black girl. You're beautiful, period." And these are the type of ideals that we ourselves have to also start instilling within our children in the midst of our community. We have to also be on the page where we begin to, we don't just say, you're beautiful for black, but that we begin to teach individualism, and that we begin to be comfortable with who we are, not based on the skin color, but based on who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not good just because I'm not a good black doctor. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a good, black poet or black author or black athlete. I'm just good at what I do. It shouldn't be based on, my color, where you look at somebody and say, "Oh, that's pretty good, for a black guy." No, It should just be based on who I am. These are the ideals. And so that's why I say the commercial was profound. I think in the statement that it made, people may say, well, what difference did that make and why was it important? In the process of us waking up and realizing what we're up against, the fact that they would expose this helps to eliminate doubt and reason from some people's minds who would try to otherwise say that racism isn't real and it doesn't exist and we need to stop complaining. Well, if they made a commercial, you know, as touching as that one was, you know, and I say touching because it didn't just say racism, but it hit on issues that we within the Black home and the community have to deal with that other people aren't aware of. That, see, other people don't have to worry about talking to their children when they leave out the house just to go visit a friend, but having the fear of just going to visit a friend could turn into the last time that I see my child. And these are the situations that we're faced with. So this is just excellent. Like I say, bringing the light. Now, there's also a flip side. We always like to spark the interest in the mind to keep us thinking. And so side to it as well. And the flip side to it is the fact that Procter Gamble, you know, being that it is a major corporation, we're already aware of who they really are, you know what I'm saying? As well as you know, when we talk about the elite ruling class, I guess you would say, quite naturally, that would mean that Procter and Gamble would be, you know, probably in there. So now that rises the question, was this an admission or an acknowledgement, you know what I'm saying, of guilt or of wrong, where they were saying we're starting to see what's going on, and so we just want to empathize with those that are suffering injustice, you know what I'm saying? Was it that, or because if was it that, or was it just an attempt to keep our money coming their way? Both sides. Were they really empathizing and trying to relate unity, or were they just, in light of a string of people now beginning to come conscious and aware, beginning to wake up and beginning to make attempts to step away and strip away from the system, as we begin within our community to talk about building on our own and building ourselves and becoming established? Is this just another psyop or another ploy for them to, you know, try to keep us in their pocket, so to say? For those that aren't familiar, I'm not going to go through all of them, but Procter Gamble is a major company. Like, you have to understand all of the products that we purchase through them. You know, Bounty, Charmin, Crest, Dawn, Febreze, you know what I'm saying? Gillette, Head and Shoulders, you know what I mean? Herbal essences, Nikki Clark, Clairol, Pantene, you know, like I say, Scope, Pepto-Bismol, Swiffer. I mean, there's a list of brands and products that are owned under Procter and Gamble. But there's something else that I just thought was interesting as I looked at that. They own Cheer, Downy, Dreft, Gain, and Tide. So when you go in the grocery store and you're trying to figure out which is the best, you know, laundry detergent that you're going to use, and you're looking at Cheer or Downy or Gain or Tide, you know what I'm saying, or Dreft, you're trying to figure out which one is best. Like, you think you're making a decision, but this is what we saying before about all our money goes back to the master's hand. They own all of them. So the choice or the decision that you're picking between, it doesn't matter, because either way you putting money in their hand, whether you like Tide or Gain, it doesn't matter. It still goes to Procter and Gamble. You see what I'm saying? Now, those are the two top detergents as far as I know, and they own both of them. You know what I mean? Dreft is the detergent that you would use for your baby. You know what I mean? Cheer, Downy. So, you know what I mean? You think Tide is separate from Gain, but it's not. Many other things. Now, like I say, this was just a quick update. I try to keep us in the know. I try to bring information that could spark our interest and spark our mind, just to, like I say, make us pay attention to some things that are going on. But like I say, I'm gonna end on that. The good thing is, if this was an acknowledgement of guilt and they were sincere in their empathy and understanding towards the struggle of racism in the community and police brutality, if that's the case, then that means awesome, because we definitely are on the way for a change is actually coming. You know what I'm saying? Because with this being a major player in the corporate world, that we exist in the system, like I say, if they're beginning to open their eyes and empathize and say, hey, this is a problem, we're going to address it, you know what I'm saying, then this can do nothing but benefit us. But if this is just a ploy to put false sympathy just to keep us spending our money and buying their products, but no action actually follows, and there's nothing done, there's no changes that come about, then you know we'll also see the result of that as well. But in the meantime, like I say, just bringing to our attention what's going on. It's your man Jay Free IC. Blessings, love, and peace always. United Intellectual. If you like what we're doing, please click and subscribe. Thank you.